Okay, finally, I was able to convince the YouTube app to use the main camera for the live stream. There's no option like pick this camera, that camera. Just like start a live stream and it's gonna pick one of the cameras at random. That's that's bad, really bad design by YouTube. So if you do work at YouTube or you know someone who does, please tell them about it. I tried complaining about this last year. Nobody listened to me. So, welcome everybody finally to the Jango Fett Starship live build day 2. I'm going to explain everything all over again because I started this live stream a while ago, but I think I only had 1 or 2 viewers. So, really sorry about that. Once again, I don't like having these technical issues, and I just wish that using the app would be a much more simpler experience. Like you press a button and at least let me pick the camera. Shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, but enough ranting about the YouTube app. Let's get to the Lego Star Wars. So I'll just show you the different gifts here, and maybe one of these could be yours if you win the giveaway. So very exciting builds. And by the way, I did build another copy of this one without the instructions, and you can check that out on my channel. And here's what we have so far, bags 1 to 3. And you have a look at Jango right here. So that's pretty cool. So I'll let you take stock of this stuff while I set up my laptop so that I'm able to actually read your comments. And again, sorry about the delay. I really wish that these things don't happen, but it's really hard to predict these things. If I was not doing this live, I would hit pause so you can skip the boring stuff. But again, you know how it is. Oh, and this time I will be plugging in my device so I don't run out of juice. I don't want that to happen like last time. So at the very least, I will not be repeating that mistake again. Just need to stretch the cable. I'm probably telling you too much information as it is right now. All right, welcome to the second viewer on the channel. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope that there's not going to be any more technical difficulties after this. I'll start shortly. I just need to set up my laptop and I'll have some background music that one of my subscribers requested earlier. I do think that does add to the ambiance, as they say in French. I'm going to try to move this away from view so that it's not distracting. And hopefully I won't need to reboot my system. Okay, it's already on, so at least we have that. And I'm going to start playing the Star Wars music again. Actually, let me mute it. I have to skip the ads. And then I'm going to open the chat, and you can let me know in the chat if you like the volume level, if you want me to increase or decrease it, as well as any comments that you have about Star Wars, Lego, or Lego Star Wars. Yeah, that sounds nice, but do let me know. And I'm going to go to the chat in just a moment. Okay. So far I see no messages. Can everyone hear me? Like sometimes the audio gets messed up on these things. All right, so we have right now 2 viewers, if this count is correct. Sometimes it's off by 1 or it takes a while to update. So once again, I'm going to be building this set right here, the Jango Fett. Here's the set number. And this is the name of the set, Jango Fett Starship. It's quite a large thing. So in order to have enough space on this table, I will need to move away these gifts. But again, if you want to win one of these, you can comment in the chat your favorite Star Wars scene, your favorite Star Wars character, things like that, just to help increase engagement with me and with the other viewers. Let's make it an exciting and memorable evening together, or morning, depending on where you are in the world. So I did put the box to the side. I will still be able to see it as one of my references, but you will not be able to see it. That's just the way things need to be. So let's take a quick look at what we already built. So we have here Jango. So he's the guy who owns this big starship. He's well done as a Lego minifigure with nice printing on the front, of course, and on the side. So it's done in a nice silver color. He has his famous jetpack. And he also has an alternative expression for when he's very angry or in an intense battle in space. So that's pretty cool. And he does carry 2 blasters. And he also has this helmet with a new antenna piece right here. So that's pretty cool to get as well. Welcome to the 3rd viewer. I see that 3 people are viewing the live stream now. So yeah, that's a pretty good look for Jango right there. We'll put him right here, and he's going to be watching us build the rest of his starship. And in the end, it's going to look like the box or what you would see in this postcard. So it's going to look something like this in the end. So now let's look at the build. We'll look at it very quickly. In bags 1, 2, and 3, we basically built this side, and this stuff in the middle. So here's what that looks like. So if you missed out on day 1, there's actually not that much going on here. It's mostly what you see is what you get. So if you see this, you can probably build most of it without the instructions because you see every single piece, except maybe some of the stuff here you might have to guess. I did guess a few of these pieces, but I think it makes sense. Most of this is static, but you can move this a little bit, and these things can move also. Everything else does not move yet. And I like here the use of this large dish piece. I think it's gonna look really nice in the end. I have seen the completed model at the Lego store. And here's something else. I don't know what this is gonna end up being, but it's nice to think about. All right, now let's bring out bag 4. Where's bag 4? Here it is. All right. Do we have any interesting or unusual pieces here? I have not seen these 2x4 bricks in sand green before. I don't know if they're new, but I have not seen these personally. So I guess that's interesting. Everything else here at first glance seems to be pretty standard. I do find it useful to sort the pieces a little bit. Even if it's by color, it's not the most efficient way, but it just helps a little bit so you know where things are and how many of each thing to expect. And there's not that many pieces in this bag, so hopefully it will come together pretty quickly. The music has paused, so I'll see. Maybe there's another ad. Okay, yes, as I suspected. Always ads with YouTube. So their app doesn't work, and they shove so many ads when I'm playing music. All right, still nothing in the chat so far. But if you want to let me know your favorite Star Wars movie and the reason why it's your favorite, feel free to do that. You can also put hearts and smileys and other emojis in the chat, and that helps the algorithm push this to more people. Also, be sure to hit thumbs up if you're watching. That helps signal to the algorithm that this is a live stream that it should promote to more people. So if you are here, please do that. It really helps me out. All right. Now I'm going to have to decide, do I build it from the bottom up or the top down? You could go either way, but I think I'll go from the bottom up. So this would be the bottom and this would be the top. Welcome. I see someone else has joined the live stream. Thank you so much for joining. Don't be shy. Using the chat is free, and it helps me know that you're really interested in the subject matter. So do let me know your favorite Star Wars movie, your favorite Star Wars character, or your favorite Lego Star Wars set. sometimes it's really hard to tell what's going on in the inner parts. So for those of you who are new to Lego, whenever we have pieces like this with studs on multiple directions, this is called studs not on top, because instead of just building this way where the studs are on top, you have some studs on the side in this case. And in other cases, they might be upside down. This used to be considered an advanced building technique when it first came out in the 1970s or 80s, but now pretty much every Lego set has at least some level of studs on the side construction. It's considered pretty normal these days. It's still more interesting than just bricks on top of bricks. Hello, Hoarder66. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for joining. It's been a fun build so far. Yes, I completely agree. Did you also get this set? So no, I was just asking if you've been having fun. I got the logo and the U-wing. Both were great. Ah, I see. So yeah, I've been having fun putting the set together so far, although these are not the most fun parts yet. Here we're just building the skeleton and some of the inner details, but I do like to figure these kind of things out. The logo, if it had a George Lucas minifigure, I would have gotten it. And maybe when it goes on discount, then I'll pick it up because it does look impressive. And yeah, the U-wing also looks pretty good as well. And I might pick that one up later as well. But for now, I'm focusing on this and the small brick head sets because those come together fairly quickly. So yeah, basically here I'm building symmetrical thing. I'm building it once but mirrored to make the build go faster. But this also means if I make a mistake, I'm going to make it twice. I'm going to have to undo it. Like the piece that comes here is not visible, so I have to guess what it is or just build other parts and then come back to this and fill this part out using the process of elimination, as usual. I'm gonna get this set not till after I get the Onyx Cinder. Want to get it before it retires. Yes, the Onyx Cinder is one of those great sets. I like it because of the VTOL aspect. So can basically have a vertical takeoff and landing. And the minifigures are quite nice as well. There's some exclusive ones. So yeah, definitely get that. And this set, the Ultimate Collector Series, I believe it's going to be on store shelves until 2027 or something like that. So there's still time to get it. And if you wait till next year, you might be able to get it 20% off. Just like this year, we can get the Ultimate Collector Series from the previous years at a huge discount. It also depends on where you are in the world. Places like Germany, they regularly get these things 30% off all the time, and that must be amazing. Yeah, so the challenge here is that we need to build bottom up or top down, but we cannot go both ways because then we'll have gaps that we'll need to fill. And when building from bottom up, we cannot see the stuff that's at the bottom, so we have to guess. So I'm kind of like going in between and thinking, okay, I'll do the top stuff first, then go down just to like use up these pieces so that they're not confusing anymore. And then we can do this. This is safe, but then I cannot put this here because I need to fit an axle through here first. It looks like this building phase is mainly adding stuff on top of this and not something that you build and then attach in the end. It would have been easier for me if it was the latter, but we have to go with whatever the Lego designers decided. Although I don't know if I could have done any better myself if I was designing this, because you do want to make sure that it's completely solid and does not fall apart. But one good example of that is the Ideas Cat from last year. That one you could like build it into like 10 different parts and then attach them all at the end. So that was a very good example of design in my opinion, and very fun to build without the instructions for that reason. Hello, Clips Film Melbourne. Since LEGO made new rangefinder piece for Rango, I think you mean Jango and some clones, but some would get triggered. They would want new sun visor piece. I mean, the LEGO Star Wars community is very famous for these kind of things. There's always going to be people who are happy with some of LEGO's decisions and other people are not happy. And my opinion is just make as many things as possible to try to appeal to the widest popular audience or the widest group of people. Because you have people who are kids who are into Lego Star Wars and adults who are sticklers for details and lots of people who are casual fans who just want to get one or two sets occasionally. It's really hard to cater to everyone. And then you have Disney who owns Star Wars now and they have certain requirements on what they allow and they don't allow. So That's possibly one of the reasons why we do not have George Lucas in the Star Wars logo set, but that's a separate story. Yeah, we're always gonna want new pieces, new molds, new helmets. That's just par for the course. And it's like this with other themes too, but maybe not as much. Yeah, I remember like a few years ago there was a huge debate over these helmet holes, and people were arguing for years and years about these helmet holes. So now that debate has died down a little bit, and I hope we don't go back to those days. It's very hard to see what goes directly on top of this piece, by the way. I'm looking at the 3D view and it's not immediately obvious. So if I can't figure it out, I'm gonna have to start guessing. Or actually, I might be able to use up some of these pieces in the meantime. Another ad. Ironically, it's for YouTube itself, YouTube Premium. Yeah, for Phase 2 helmet, though, maybe Adult Collector set have both 2013 and 2022 Phase 2 helmet non-holes for troopers or named clones without attachments. Yeah, I think if LEGO were to revisit that decision, is like I think they just should have just kept two molds instead of one, because probably they would have made more money if they just gave fans what they wanted. But at the same time, they made so much money anyway. It's really hard to know in the future, are they going to do things like this again? Because at the same time, the controversy also generates more buzz, more complaints, and ironically, more sales. And the print problems, I can't speak to that directly. I have not noticed major print problems on the clones that I personally have gotten, but perhaps that is an issue for you, and it also depends on which part of the world you're in, because it's not all the same factory that produces these. I think it makes sense to me now. So the reason why we're using this half plate, half tile is because there's going to be something here, I think. Does that make sense? I'm not sure actually, but I think this is the best candidate to put here. I wonder why they did it this way. Because this is not going to move, so I'm wondering what was the purpose of using Technic to do this. Also, I think I'm missing a piece here. Yes, I am, but I can't just rip this off because this thing is holding it. So I have to use this other axle, push this out. That's why you gotta watch out when building with Lego Technic. If you make a mistake, it's very hard to undo it. So I see your comments about a leaked set. I have no comment on that. Just for legal purposes, I'm trying not to get in trouble with anyone. But soon enough, this is going to get revealed and I will be able to comment on it. And yes, of course, there's always going to be unofficial third-party customs, and those are always going to be in business, at least until Lego shuts them down, and they're going to appear in one way or another, various forms. Yeah, this needed to be there. Then I can do this, but then I can't put this in, so I have to remove these two pieces, but remember them. Put this in here. Put this axle through. And then put these back. Yeah, that's kind of challenging to figure out without the instructions. And if this was my first big build without the instructions, it would have taken me much longer to figure this out. Now that I do know, it's not going to be as bad. Oh no, I needed to put this piece in here. Oh, don't tell me I have to take this whole thing off again. Okay, maybe this is a better trick. Oh no, but I can't do that because basically there's a lift arm, like this Technic piece here. It's locking everything. So again, I have to take everything apart. I'm gonna do this a few times during this build. Okay, let me check again for any other Technic pieces. I think potentially this one actually. But then we can't put this directly because it's gonna have the stuff that comes underneath it. So you basically have to figure out the whole thing all at once for this particular building phase. And it gets tricky just because of these Technic parts right here. If it was just bricks on top of bricks, it would not have been this challenging. Yeah, it's like a trick question on a test. You think you figure it out, and they're like, oh, actually, that doesn't work. I'll have to do the same thing here. Try to be less disruptive on this side. But I'm not going to lock this into place and add these pieces, I think, until the very end. Not going to keep putting them on and off until I'm very confident that this front part is done. Does this work? I think so. But now we have to figure this out because this piece is going to go here, but it's going to be attached to the Technic pin. So we will have to lift this up. We have no choice. But before putting this piece down, we need to have something to put underneath it. So hopefully I did not use these pieces in the wrong place, because I'm going to need them now. Hello to the 5th person who joined the live stream. Thank you so much for joining. This fits in nicely and fills that gap. It's interesting how this piece hits the ground directly. It's not like sticking up. So they really thought about this when designing it to be exactly at this height. It's quite intelligent, actually. And with these pieces out of the way, it makes building the rest of the stuff easier. And once I'm done, I will spin this around so you'll be able to see it from various angles. Now, I bet this was a very fun set to design. I noticed you have Series 27, CMF, Wolfback Beastmaster. That wolf is perfect for any mocks or maybe microscale. Willful wolves in Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, I do have one Beastmaster that I actually unboxed, and I showed that on my channel a while ago, and I do have one that's still new in box. A question from Nick: what is the prize for giveaway? Well, there's going to be a bunch of prizes depending on the audience participation. So basically, the more people that come in and view and like the stream and share it and subscribe, the better the prizes will be. So there will be stuff like poly bags, some small sets like this, possibly the Camino gift with purchase, and a few other things like the battle pack. This Clone Trooper battle pack, for example, could be a possible giveaway. And if things go really, really well with these live streams, I might possibly find some larger Lego Star Wars sets that are quite interesting and put them in the giveaway as well. So we shall see. Yeah, it's starting to come together. Okay, now we can put this piece here. Yeah, this is going to help solve a lot of problems with the gaps that I was facing earlier. All right. Now I think I can put this piece in here. Yeah, this was quite fun to figure out, to be honest. A little bit frustrating at the beginning, but now that I have figured out the trick, it's really a lot of fun. It's not pushed down completely. Sometimes I have to give the pieces a little extra push. Oh, this needs to come down like so. Yeah, I think this is about right. We can start to close it off. All right, so we're getting closer to the end of the build. I don't know where these are going to go, so we'll have to figure that out next. Ooh, sorry, Jango. Oh, these actually go here. Okay, now we can plug this in. and just finish this off because we know that we are done with this bag, finally. How long did this build take? So I started this yesterday, and it took me a little while to unbox everything. So not counting the unboxing time, I think it took me approximately 2 hours, something like that, to build the first 3 bags. We had some technical difficulties. My device died in the middle of it. I had to charge it. So I'd say about 2 hours plus the time that I've been building today, minus like all the stuff at the intro. And I'm not really rushing this. I'm just taking my time and enjoying the process. And of course, when you're live, you do tend to make more mistakes, or at least I do. But overall, I'm happy with the build so far. So this is bag 4. We start to see the thing take shape, and I think that will be visible on the exterior, at least from the front. So we kind of get a feel for the dimensions of the thing. So it's quite large. There's still many, many more bags to go. So let's get to bag 5. Seeing on my laptop that the live stream is a bit blurry. I don't know why that's the case. Also, the music has stopped. We already hit the end of the playlist, so I'll repeat it from the top. So the music that I'm playing, by the way, is a copyright-free version of Star Wars similar music. It's not the official Star Wars or Lego Star Wars soundtrack because you need to pay copyright fees to use that music legally, or otherwise you'd risk getting a copyright strike. So I'm playing music that is inspired by Star Wars instead. All right, so let's see what's going on with bag 5. Well, we got these interesting pieces right here, and maybe this is when we start to apply the stickers. I don't like stickers. Oh, we still got a few more Technic pieces, so gotta watch out for those. I don't want to mix up these two piles. So it looks like we're going to be building this part next. Like this next part of the build is going to have lots of crazy angles and curves. And then probably I'm going to have to apply a sticker on this piece just because when the whole thing is done, if I want to apply the sticker afterwards, it's going to be very, very awkward. So I'm going to try to position it such that the blue is in the corner. So these stickers are not identical. This is number one, this is number two. They're not perfect squares. So I believe it's going to be sticker number one that is applied here. I'm going to try to push it in the corner as much as possible. Wish me luck. And then because I want to apply it such that the corner is here, I think it makes sense to apply it from this side. And again, I'm using the brick separator trick so that I don't touch the sticker with my bare hands on the adhesive side. Hopefully I get this right from the first try. Oh no. You see it's like clinging on. It's not too bad. It's a little bit overhanging here, but I don't want to apply it and reapply it again. And there's a bit of a gap over here. I think this is, for my purposes, I think this is okay. I'm not really a sticker person. I think this goes here. lots of crazy angles here. Oh, I see now we're building some stuff upside down. So not only studs on the side, but also studs pointing down, upside down, basically. Very interesting. So turns out that these pieces are going to have the studs pointing down like this. Looks like we'll be building this mirrored as well. All right. How does that look? Okay. Not bad. Are these two attached, or are they just next to each other? You know that these pieces are going to attach like this. Was it right side up or upside down? Well, it's got to be like this so that this can attach right side up. And this goes on top of. Does it go on top of it directly? Yes, but here. It's actually the other one. Nope, not like that. Yeah, predictably, these will fill these gaps. Now this is supposed to attach basically where these are aligned with these. So I guess the reason why the Lego designer added these pieces is just as a visual aid, because we're gonna attach them like this. And I'll just reattach these pieces with the sprue marks pointing the other way. And this goes right here. I guess it could also be considered greebling as well. Oh, but I can't do that because, oh, actually there's a Technic pin that goes through. Oh yeah, actually I can insert it from the other side. That's actually perfect. So from the outside, I can do this and basically lock it into place. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. I wonder if someone drops this, like the finished build on the floor. I'm pretty sure like all the exterior decorative parts are going to fly off, but like this core this Technic core, it's pretty solid. I'm pretty sure it will not get destroyed. Like if you throw this violently on the ground, it's probably going to survive. And with this being upside down, we have these L-shaped lift arms. Where this part of the L is next to this. All right. Yeah, that was a pretty tricky part of the build to like figure out, but once you know how it's done, then it's actually not that complicated. The final result does look pretty respectable. There's a gap here, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be filled up at some point. Are we done here, or can we flip it back? Let me see. Well, we still gotta fill basically this part right here. Nope, that's not right. fits really nicely. These pieces remind me of the old school. Oh, there's an ad. So yeah, as I was saying, these pieces remind me of the old school Lego hinges from 1980s, 1990s. So when I was a kid, I used to have some old Lego sets that were secondhand even at that time, and they would have hinges that resembled this. So it would all be one piece that kind of looked like. So it would all be one piece that kind of looks like this. So this brings back those memories. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy building and playing with Lego so much. This goes here, I'm pretty sure. It's a bit hard to spin the thing around to look at it from all the angles, so I'm struggling a little bit here. But don't you worry, I'll figure it out one way or the other. Hmm. Some of these angles are really tricky to figure out. And here I could either stop and think about it for a long time, or I could just put pieces together and then take them apart, then put them together in different ways. It's really a matter of personal choice and preference as to which strategy would work best. And actually, it depends on the specific build. But here I do think that taking the time to look at the 3D view and think about the build would be better than just randomly throwing pieces together and hoping that they magically all fit, because there's just so many complicated curves here. This makes the job of the Lego designer even more impressive, because it's not easy to design stuff like this totally from scratch. Oh, here we have a gap, so we actually cannot attach these together yet. You have to figure out this gap. I think one of these pieces will actually fit, although I don't know if this is the intention, but at least there's no more gap, right? Yeah, I can live with this for now. Welcome. Someone just joined the live stream, so thank you for joining. Oh, did I just get disconnected? Okay, so what's going on? I have battery, I'm connected. It looks like, okay, there's a bunch of stuff. Oh, I did not put it on do not disturb mode. It says here it's uploading a video. Still here. Chimpanzee Banana. Thank you, Aaron Olson. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, the YouTube app, for whatever reason, is just very wonky and problematic. I'm gonna put it on do not disturb mode, and hopefully that will help. Tung 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 sahur. Huh. That's interesting.